Yes, here we are again. Hello to you. This is the pre-show bit, and I can see David Silk is first in on the chat today. You are fully entitled to write the word first. Christopher as well. Barbara's in, under the name of Nella Arabara. Renato, under the name of Rovigo55, in as well. Martina, nice to see you. So today we're reverse reverbing, doing that reverse effect. Lots and lots of reversing. We use that in a bit of imaging and anything else you fancy. Hi Peter, I'm doing well. How are you? Nice to see you there. Peter Labro, Amir's there. K-Web Films, this is new. Good to see you. If you are new on the stream today, if you're brand new, first time you caught it live, let me know right now in the comments. And also, I would love to know if you're new, you've just come across the stream, please post in the comments how you found this show. Hi to Danny. Nice to meet you again. Live stream getting going in 3 minutes. Martina says, yay! Mosil21, hi to you, welcome along. So we're going live. This is the pre-show bit where we just get warmed up and we have a nice little countdown on the screen. Reverse singing, go listen to Rain by the Beatles. I'm going to, after the show. And it's appropriate because it's raining here today. How you doing, Morgan? Morgan's in. Anthony's here as well, in Jacksonville, Florida, USA, with musical notes all over the screen in the chat. Nice to see that. Oh, thank you, Mosil21. Wow. Where are you watching from today? Let me know. Let me know where you're watching from. And anyone who's new to the stream, write new in the comments, all in capital letters. Is it raining in Adelaide? I can't believe it's raining in Adelaide too, at the same time as the UK. K-Web followed the videos for ages. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's really nice to see you in the chat today. Stick around because we're going to get going in 2 minutes. Can I make you music? Yes, absolutely. Contact us. musicradiocreative.com. Rolf, hi, seen most of your videos, but first time live. Hooray! Fantastic. We have a first timer. Divakish, hello. Mr. Mega Radio UK, hi to you. Michael Duffy, morning. Hello. Rovigo, yeah, okay, yeah, 35 degrees Celsius where you are. Thanks. Rub it in. Have to brush up on my Italian. Isabella's actually learning Italian. She's got her first book. She already speaks enough languages, but she's really good at them, so she's going to do a bit more. K-Web is in Swindon. Joe's in. Hey, Joe. Just commented on a video that doesn't air for a week. How interesting. Morgan, love the new channel. Thanks. Load Rain into Audition, and near the end is reverse singing. Nice. Okay, get ready for the show. And we are live. Hello, I am Mike Russell from musicradiocreative.com, and this is Music Radio Creative Live. We do it every single weekday without fail between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. United Kingdom time. So wherever you are in the world, just make a conversion and you'll know exactly how and when to be able to tune in. It's nice to see so many of you there already. Do get your comments in, particularly if you're new, if it's your first time on the live stream stream with us here right now, please type the words new, all in caps, new, into the chat so I can see you and shout you out. I always mention comments at 15-minute intervals during the show. So at 15 minutes in, 30 minutes in, and 45 minutes in as well, we get into your comments. If you're kind enough to super chat, that does help to support the show, keep it growing, help me to do other activities like running servers and marketing as well, so that we can get more people into this awesome audio community. Super chat is always appreciated on YouTube. You can do that by clicking the $sign, and then you just type in a message and select a dollar amount, and most of that money does come directly to support the show. So really appreciate that. So today it is reverse reverbing. I'm so excited about this. By the way, if you're old to the show, if you've been here a few times, do type old in caps. I like that idea very much. So reverse reverb, what are we talking about? Well, I think it's best that we get into it and have a look at what exactly I mean by that. Just before I go into Adobe Audition and show you the basic, the most straightforward reverse reverb technique, I just wanted to point out that the community here is extremely active, by the way. So it's growing. Every day new users are signing up. Like I say, majority coming from the stream. We have started putting it out now a little bit on social media, so you can expect more people to be joining in soon. But of course, if you join now, you'll be one of the pioneers with join date of August 2017 on the Music Radio Creative community. You can hop over there if you haven't done so already by going to community.musicradiocreative.com. Posted it in the chat for YouTube, community.musicradiocreative.com. We've got loads of different categories, recent stuff. We've got a script loader for Adobe Audition. This is fantastic. That's Ule from Norway. Got lots and lots of scripts and add-ons being chatted about at the moment. Cleaning up audio on a man in a crowd. I thought Jenny did a fantastic job on that, by the way, in the community. David has shared more about his Minecraft Cat and Dog soundtrack. Plenty of voiceovers chatting about setting up home studios and how to do it. So if you're a voiceover, a podcaster, an audio producer, radio programmer, a DJ, anything like that, you're just interested in audio, this is going to be the place for you to hang out. Oh, and I did want to, I do like to feature as much as I can posts from the community. This is just a short one. This one is from Jason Walker, who's in Australia, and he works for a radio station called Fresh 92.7, and he just submitted this audio for us to listen to in the Share Your Projects category.
On your radio, online, and on your phone with the Fresh 92.7 app. Free now in the App Store. This must be Fresh.
Now, I'm just a sucker for Aussie voices anyway. Absolutely love them. So to me, that sounds great. I love the Australian female voice there. I like the washing and reverb at the end with the shout of fresh at the end and all of that. It just sounds good. So well done, Jason. Really good contribution to the community there at community.musicradiocreative.com. We've got a lot of Australians and New Zealanders actually in the community. I think probably it's because this time is a good time for you to catch the stream, because it's like midnight, 11 p.m., 1 in the morning at that side of the world. So, yes, we're doing late night audio production for the Antipodeans. Right, over here in Adobe Audition, let's grab some audio from Duke. And I love it when our American voiceover from Las Vegas, Duke, says this word.
Now.
Yeah, that word. He says it like that, and he says it like this.
Now.
And he can also say it like this. Let's have a listen. Oh, not spotlight.
Now.
Now, just a straightforward now, or...
Now.
Oh, that's my favorite now. So I'm going to grab that now, copy it, and I'll show you a basic reverse reverb so we know and understand what we're talking about here and how things work. So, brand new file, paste that in. I'll make sure to save it actually as now. There we go. Okay. How do you reverse reverb in Adobe Audition? Effects, reverse, and then instead of getting now, you get... One. And I'll show you a really cool trick. If you can actually learn, if you've got a good ear for like accents and voices, if you can hear how the reverse is being said, that's a pretty easy one. Now, I could just record something like this. One. Okay, and then I'll make a really freaky sound here. Let's just normalize it. Normalize and reverse that recording of me saying one, and then you should get me saying now in a weird way. Now. No.
No.
If you want to sound all alien-like and spacey, you can do it with other words. Sorry, this is not reverse reverb. I'm getting carried away now. I love cats. Okay, let's have a listen to that. Normalize and reverse. Okay, in reverse. Snapvalia. Snapvalia. Okay. Snapvalia. Okay, and then let's reverse that. Effects, reverse. Don't know how good this is going to be, but let's give it a go. This is live, folks. I love ants. I love ants! I'll take that! I love ants! I love ants. So I went from I love cats to I love ants. I clearly need to enunciate my more in reverse. I know Isabella, who I can see is with the spanner in the chat comments at the moment, would do this really well because she's good at mimicking voices. Anyway, sorry, got carried away there. It's just a silly trick you can do if you got spare time. So we had Duke saying now, and then we reversed it. Let's normalize him as well. Normalize. Okay, brilliant. And then we're going to stick in, where is it? I always get confused with this. It's an edit, isn't it? Edit, insert silence. Nice buffer of about 10 seconds here. Okay, so we got... And the best way, the very best way, and I've done a lot of research into this, particularly before going live, because I always like to make sure on these live streams I'm bringing you the most accurate, up-to-date information in 2017, which is obviously the year that this is recorded. If you're watching this in the future, there might be a better technique. But for now, I think the very best way to do reverse reverb is to reverse audio, print the reverb on, then reverse it back and layer it up. And I'll show you how that would work. There are some plugins that you can get, and I'll mention them in a minute, that claim to do reverse reverb. One of them's paid, one of them's free. I might actually download the free one and have a play with it on the stream, see if we can get it to work. But of course you're going to be using your CPU intensively to do stuff like that. So it's best to kind of pre-render, as I suppose you'd call it. So effects, and we'll go to reverb, and then we're going to go to, I usually like to use a studio reverb. That kind of works for me. We'll go to the default settings, set everything back to normal. What we can do with this is we can make it all wet. And if we make it all wet, what I mean by wet is, well, this is 100% dry. Have a listen. And this is 100% wet. Okay, so you've just got the reverb. Wet with dry, you'll get both. There you go. Obviously not much of a reverb, so I'm going to increase the decay. Okay, lots of decay there. Maybe make the room bigger. Really huge reverb now. That's going to really suck in when I turn it around. And we can play with some other stuff. Put up the high frequencies a bit. Increase the width. And I think we've got an awesome sounding reverb there. So what I will do is I'll take off the dry. And just before I render this down, I'm going to do another little trick here, which is to place a marker there. Press the M key on your keyboard, please, to place a marker like this. Oh, yeah, there it is. Can you see it? And I'll just call that, let's go into markers and name that as start. So I remember where the start point is. So later on when I want to align these, I've got a nice marker to work to. See that nice white marker there? So now I'll apply that. All wet, by the way. Here we go. There is my wet reverb. Reverse it again back like that. See, now the problem we have here is the marker stays in that position, which is, it's not super helpful, is it then? In that case, what I'm going to do is have a look here. So we need a way of basically, well, a rough and ready way of doing this is to look. So we've got 1.856 seconds. 1.856 seconds. Let's remember that. Reverse. And then I just need to come in by 1.856 seconds. Let's make sure I get that right. About there. Place another marker there. So now we can see what we're working with. Okay, let's just look at spectral frequency to see where the reverb starts. It starts about there. So I can chop off the rest of this. And I can normalize this to make it really loud. Let's do so. Okay, so we've got that, but obviously you can't hear the dry of Duke saying now. So what I'm going to do now, I've got that marker that is super helpful to me. I'm going to create a new session. I'm going to call it reverse reverb. And I'm going to pop in that reverse reverbed now. Actually, do you know what? Just make sure I'm using my Adobe Audition presets. So reverse reverb. And we'll put on the template here, MRC, so we can nicely process the voice as well. By the way, do keep the comments coming in. Mention them in about 5 minutes from now, especially if you're on Facebook. The comments, where in the world you are. That would be nice to know. So let's grab Duke again. Actually, we won't grab the whole of his session. We'll just grab that and pop that into a new file. So this is the dry now. We're going to normalize that and pop that into the multi-track here. Okay, and then I'm going to attempt to align this to where my marker is. My marker is there, and then I just need to align the start of that now to about there, and that should be about perfect. Might need to roll the audio down a bit on the reverb. Let's just... There you go, and you see it fits perfectly. I had to do a little bit of math there because I forgot that when I reverse it, the marker turns around with it and doesn't go in the right place. There must be a way you can get it to stick, but in that instance it didn't work. But I've calculated my points and I've lined up the peak of that reverb perfectly with Duke saying now. So there you go. That is the reverse reverb effect. That's what we're talking about here. This sounds rather good, doesn't it? And I mean, you can put on different effects. So obviously there's a bit of EQ on this. But what I could do is move this down to another track. So it's a little more stereo. Let's have a listen. Sounds really good, doesn't it? And then we'll go over to our risers here. This is the riser I actually use in the introduction music for Music Radio Creative Live. Pop this in and stick it on the sound effects track here. Solo it and have a listen. So that's going to fit perfectly, I think. What I'm going to do now is Command A, select all the waves here and match the clip loudness so that everything is at the same level. And let's move this in a bit and fade this in and see how this sounds. Pretty cool, if you ask me. I like that, and that could be your introduction to an epic DJ intro or anything like that. Anything you want to do, anything you want to play around with, reverse reverb is great. Let's have another listen. And we can do all kinds of things with that reverse reverb if we're not entirely happy with how it sounds. Obviously, I've got my presets on to pump it up a little bit. But if I wanted to play again, maybe with some more EQ and really bring out certain frequencies in the reverb, I could solo it. And then as I'm playing it back, let's actually loop the reverb round and just play with the EQ here to see what frequencies we can bring out. You see, if I pull out the frequencies there, it's sounding a lot sort of more hollow in my ears. So let's just unsolo that and see how that has affected the whole mix. There we go. So you can do reverse reverb. I mean, it's a common effect in radio imaging. You hear it all over the place. I really love using it, particularly if you've got radio station call letters. I mean, this is another thing. Maybe I'll show you this in the next section, but I'll record myself here and make this sound good. So what we have is something very special here because I just need to make sure I've got my audio all set up. Let's have a look. Right, yes, that is my microphone recording in. So if I record here now, let's see. Hello. Okay. So I'm trying to think of a radio station call sign. Give me a radio station call sign. WNBC. I keep thinking of Howard Stern. Let's go with that, shall we? WNBC. C. Just wanted to make sure I get the C right. And the reason for that is that C's are a bit tricky because they start with a soft S before the E of the beat of the E. So that sounded okay. Let's just normalize that. And we can have a play with those cool letters, do some reverse reverb and some imaging crashes on them in the next section. But as always, your comments are super, super, super important to me, and I love to get to them. So we're 15 minutes into the show. Let's see what has been going on and what you've been up to and what you've been saying in the comments. Starting with Facebook Live, where you can always mention where you're watching from. I appreciate that. Like, for instance, we've got John Borum in Hobart, Tasmania watching, which is great. John's in as well, watching. He's Big John from Classic Rock 103.3 FM. Appreciate all you share with us from Ocala, Florida. Hope I've said that correctly. Patrick just joined. Hope I haven't missed much. Ed Norton is watching from Birmingham. Duke is indeed very talented. Love the trailer style voiceover he did for me. Yes, we love Duke here at Music Radio Creative. Going to use a few other voices during the live stream as well. Yes, excellent voice available at musicradiocreative.com for your imaging or your project. What have we got here? Amir has found a good piece of software for Windows, FL Studio. Yeah, FL Studio is pretty good. Good evening from Adelaide, Australia, says Jason. Oh, wow. Jason, say hello to David, who's also in Adelaide. Danny, good night from Indonesia. It's just after 9 p.m. there. Christopher's back after a browser crash. Lewis, it's the morning and he needs coffee. I know the feeling. What else have we got? We've got Rolf, who is new to the stream today, which is nice. Christopher is ancient to the stream. Got yes, lots of regular viewers in there today. DJ Arad's in. It's used in creepy soundtracks. Absolutely, DJ Arad. Reverse reverb is used in creepy soundtracks and bits like that. It's used commonly in singing as well and bits like that. I actually did a horror take as well, a whole horror episode on the live stream where I did some rather crazy, freakish reverse reverb. What else have we got here? We've got Sunil, who's watching, a regular viewer. And Isabella is there with the spanner looking after things. What else have we got? Yes, lots and lots of different conversations here. Kevin here from Cleveland, Ohio. Great videos. Good idea to go live. What was the idea, though, to go live anyway? Great videos again. Well, thank you very much. So the idea to go live was simply just to do this stuff in real time and get excited about everything in real time. I think there is a kind of vibe that cannot be mimicked when you are doing things live. I forgot to boil the kettle as well. How funny is that? Before going on, I'm drinking cold. Luckily, it's just cold water with lemon. If it was coffee, I would have made rather a more rancid face there. Cold water with lemon. What else have we got? So yeah, just being live and doing it live, I think you just can't beat it. Particularly the way the internet is going right now as well. Oakley, hello Mike, I'm 50 minutes late. Hope I haven't missed much. Well, you're just in time for some reverse reverb on a radio station call sign. Connor says, hi Mike, I have been watching your live videos loads recently. I'm just under 18 years old and it's very inspiring. I have my own radio station and it would be great to get some more tips from you. Well, thanks Connor. You're very welcome here. And it is a good opportunity. Hi to Bob, by the way. Lenny as well, watching from Aruba, which is very nice. It's a good point in the show to tell you that it's well worth joining the Music Radio Creative community. Actually, let me bring this into full view so you can see in the zoomed browser here what is happening with the community. So if we look at Music Radio Creative community here. Sign up, by the way, at community.musicradiocreative.com. You'll see all the latest comments on this side. You'll see all the categories over this side as well. And a lot of fun discussion going on there at community.musicradiocreative.com. So definitely head over. Let me copy this lovely URL and paste it into the chat. and you can come and join up if you're not there already. Another thing to look at, by the way, are these plugins for reverse reverb. The Waves product here, Renaissance Reverb, is a pretty good reverb plugin, by the way. I've used it once or twice before at radio stations I've worked at, and I've seen a lot of serious audio producers using Renaissance Reverb. So you might want to consider it, particularly as it does appear to have some kind of reverse reverb element to it. Another one I'll install in a minute is a free plugin called G-Rev Delay, or G-Rev Delay, DLY, and this is something that we can have a little look into later on, because it may be quite handy, particularly if you're an Audacity user. If you're in Audacity, the GVST plugins work really well, and I will actually post a link to GVST if you want to grab their plugins. They're mainly for Windows, but they do have a porting page for Mac if you are on Mac, and you can hop over and install this wonderful plugin and have a play with it. So now we have got the call sign letters. I'm going to go with
C.
C, C, C. I'm going to go with that C. So WMBC, let's say. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to insert here, edit, insert a silence of about 5 seconds. Here we go, copy that and paste and paste and paste, and then reverse the whole thing, effects and reverse. There we go. And again, we can pop on our reverb. Let's have a play. What should we go? Should we go for some convulsion reverb and see how that changes things? Just going to start playing back now and zoom in and see what kind of sounds we can get on this reverb. So take a look at the settings as I play back and move them. Yes. Hey. Annette. 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 I think that's going to be the preset to work with, so let's play it back and just have a little tweak again. Yes. Sounds pretty interesting, doesn't it? So one more time, let's play all of those backwards with the convulsion reverb on. Okay, and I've had a thought actually, before I actually apply this convulsion reverb, what might be super handy and helpful to me is to reverse this back and then put on those markers at the start of the call signs. And I've remembered I need to double this up as well into a new file, so let's do that. Double in Untitled 5 there, back to Untitled 4. If I put on my markers before reversing, then they'll stay in the place I need them to be. So marker there, and we need a marker there, and a marker there, and a marker there. That should allow me now to know where I am needing to align my clips. Reverse, there we go, markers go all out of whack, but that's okay, no worries. We'll go back into reverb, convulsion reverb. We're in a massive cavern. With a little bit of dampening on the reverb. Look at how cool that looks. Now, if we go into our multi-track reverse reverb with Duke here, and we'll drag in both versions of this, so Untitled 4, Untitled 5, and we know that Untitled 4 is the reverse reverb. Obviously, I need to reverse it back again, so effects and reverse here, and then back in. Okay, now we're looking good. Somehow, it seems like... W. Okay, that's absolutely right. That's pretty much aligned now. But I probably need to do a bit of matching the clip loudness here. W. N. I think we've got too much compression going on that reverb channel. Let's try and pull it back a bit. W. That's better. W. I just heard that kind of strange dropout in the audio, which means you're compressing too much. Let's have a listen. N. B. C. So how would we use something like that? Now we've got something like that. Now we've got all those lovely WMBC bits. What I might do is bring in some explosions and risers and bits like this. So, yeah, stuff like this and stuff like that, and that could be good, or this one. Yeah, I think we'll go with that one, and we need an impact as well. So one of those crashes like that, and then what I'm going to do is mix this all together with my reverb. So there's my riser, and again we should probably match the loudness to get those clips at a uniform level here, and we're putting that crash there where the first call sign letter comes in. And let's play this and have a listen. Right, first of all I can probably make the riser a little shorter because the call letter isn't that long. W. Okay, turn that up a bit. W. Okay, so have a listen. W. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to do that to all of the audio here in my multi-track session. Let's give a nice bit of space here so we can really play with this. By the way, coming up in 4 minutes, I'm mentioning more of your comments, so do post, particularly if you're watching on Facebook. Let me know where in the world you are watching live from right now. Would love to know that. And we'll switch around a little bit after the halfway point. I'm going to put reverse reverb onto music and show you how you can actually use reverse reverb on musical instruments to make them sound pretty cool. And we'll do a little bit with that. As I'm currently rejigging the intro jingle to this show. So, yeah, I might show you a little bit behind the scenes of that and even use some reverse reverb in the process as well. So, we've got our W. W. And then we've got our N. N. And then this one. B. And then this one. C. Oh, now I told you C's are always tricky because I need to align the bang about there instead of there. Otherwise it sounds off. You have to miss out the S and get the E bit. C. Perfect. Okay. So, you see what I've done there? Essentially, it's reverse reverb on one track, original dry on another track. I might actually place that on the flanger track in my presets. Let's have a listen to that. W. Gives a nice stereo sound. N. B. C. Perfect, that sounds good to me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix that all down, or actually bounce that down to a new track, the time selection here. So we get something we can play with. And when that is done, we can then go and put it all together. So give it just a moment to all, there we go, it's bounced. And then we can kind of fade these together. So let me just bring in another track, add another stereo track so we can overlay these nicely. And that's looking good to me. And that there. Okie dokies. So now we're ready to go. Let us grab this, and this. So to make that awesome, epic, cool letters kind of sound with the bangs there. Let's see if we can get this nicely aligned. Let's start here for that one. Let's do it at about 120 BPM. Okay, we're going to need more tracks then if we're going to do it like that. Track, add stereo track, add stereo track. So each of these gets its own track. So I'm calculating 120 BPM. It's easy because it's 500 milliseconds apart. Like so. And there we go. Let's have a listen to that. How does it sound? Okay, so we've got like a little bit of crossfading to do there to make that work perfectly. So let's pop that in. so we're not sort of hollowing out with too much audio going on, getting too busy. Okay, and again, just want to bring that in a little lighter because we're doubling up audio and we don't want to do that. Right, let's see what we got here now. Right, again, let's try that. See how that works. Oh yeah, the C is always the tricky one. I haven't placed that correctly, have I? So W, W, N, B, C. The C needs to go there. W, N, C. W, N, C. W, N, C. There we go. So something like that. Let's just jot that as well. And then if we wanted, we could actually pan that across. So if I pan this over by, let's make that 50, and then make this L25, and this R25. So if you're listening in stereo, you'll hear it pan across your speakers or in your headphones. So we've got something like this. And that's a nice stereo effect there on that reverse reverb. And then finally, I could go over to the master channel here and add on some more, maybe to the bus actually. Analog delay and stereo reverb. And then some mastering to really bring it out. So special and mastering here. We'll start with a bit of subtle clarity and see how that sounds. That's it. And maybe pull the exciter up a bit. And also that mastering should have an effect on Duke's intro. So yeah, sounding pretty good. So some reverse reverb tricks you can do. I will show you reverse reverb with a piano very shortly. But first of all, let's hop back in and see what you've been saying over here in the lovely chat, which is fantastic. We've got Jay. Please post again a line. It's Jay from India. Not sure what you mean by that, but thank you for being there in Facebook. It's very kind of you to tune in and be with me today. What have we got here? Good old GVST. They've got a decent and free pitch correction software too, indeed. What else have we got? Anthony is chatting away to Isabella saying GVST appear only to be for Windows. No, Joe has correctly given a link to the port page, which works on Mac and Linux as well, I believe too. So you can definitely try that out. So yeah, thank you very much for commenting away. And if you would like to continue the discussion, the best place for you to go is over to community.musicradiocreative.com, and that is the website here. As you can see, posts appearing all the time, people sharing their projects, their ideas, offering advice on audio production. And just to show you, so you know, Anthony, on GVST, if you go to the downloads page here, everything is Windows, but then at the bottom, Mac and Linux, see the porting page, and then download here, GVST plugins for Mac. I did this earlier on, actually, and I got a bunch of stuff in a zip file, which I'm just going to unzip now, and you can see here, these are all the VSTs that apparently you can use them on Mac. All I need to do is install it. So what I might want to do actually is see if it's possible to go to my Audacity folder. Here we go. So yes, it should be your squiggly line, which is your home folder /library/application support /Audacity. If I wanted to install a plugin there, which I certainly can do. So if I go over there, and we'll find Audacity here, plugins over here, noise gate. You see I've got G-Snap when I was doing the auto tuning. If I just go to downloads now and drag that VST. So what was it we wanted? We wanted, which is the one? Rev delay. Let's drag that into Audacity over there. And if I fire up Audacity, it should hopefully recognize it. So I'll show you how it could work in Audacity. Effect, add remove plugins here. And then we need to have a look and see whether it has revealed itself to us. Let's have a look. G rev delay, there it is. Enable, okay. We've got more questions, by the way. Sorry, Mike, have to go now, but another great show. I will tune in again. Thank you, Connor, for being there. Andreas, will there be a replay of the stream? Absolutely, there will be. Always go and subscribe over at youtube.com/musicradiocreative. And Joe's saying, how many monitors do you have, Mike? David's saying, enough. Yes. Absolutely, that's so true as well. I will get round to, in the community, by the way, posting a picture of the studio that I work out of. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 monitors to actual kind of display monitors. But I also have Kindle Fire in front of me to do all the switching of things here. Actually, I'll show it to you because it's quite fun. Like here, if I hit on this key lower third, it'll do that. It changes everything around. Or if I want to go for a tea or coffee break, I can push that button there, and then you see it's really quite handy. And then obviously I can click my screen share button and it puts me on. So I've got the Kindle Fire in front of me, and I have an iPad which I can show you. Let me just get this back into position over here. I've got an iPad, and this iPad, which I've not actually loaded today, has an application that I'm experimenting with. I haven't started using it on the stream, but if I wanted to drop jingles and such like into the show, just going to unplug it from the audio. I've got an iPad here, which has a piece of software called iJingle on it, iJingle Webcaster. And it's a rather nice, slick piece of software, and I've got it plugged into the mixing desk over here. So if it's plugged in, I can open the fader with it on and hit this button, and you get one of our lovely jingles playing in the background. But as I say, I haven't loaded many other jingles onto it yet. Just need some more time, but I intend to do that very soon. It's also got a nice loop mode function as well, so this is currently looping in the background, which I absolutely love, and I can loop this jingle for eternity. So if I want, I can just have this jingle playing again and again and again. I could literally have this loop now playing in the background until I finish the show. So it's really rather neat. It's called iJingle Webcaster Pro, I think, or just search iJingle in the App Store and you'll find their apps. And then when I'm fed up with this jingle, I can actually double tap it. I can hit it again, and then what it'll do is it'll start rising. It's stopped the loop, and now it's gone into the jingle, which is rather cool, isn't it? This is a rather hot room in terms of monitors. Lots of brightness in front of me, and the 2 LED lights that light me up. It's actually quite a relief if I switch the LED lights off. Hang on. Just going a little bit away from reverse reverb for the moment, but if I cut to the studio here and switch the camera lights off, that's nice, but you can't really see me now. I'm kind of hiding. So LED lights back on, click. There we go, and you can see everything again. So there you go. A brief tour of the monitors, but I will be doing a stream at some point, giving you a full tour of the studio and the equipment I'm using on a regular basis to create these live streams and also to create audio, and I hope you'll find that of value. So let's drag in here a file. What have we got? Let's go back to my downloads folder and bring in some audio from Chelsea. Oh, Audacity is just like that, isn't it? You have to go File and Open. You can't just drag audio in there, can you? Downloads and Chelsea, and yeah, make a copy. Okay, that's fine. So let's just have a play with this G rev delay and see how good it really is. So here you go. Very, very basic screen here. But if I play this back, let's have a listen now to the... Let's turn the effect up a bit, and let's just have a listen to how it sounds without any tweaking at all on Chelsea voice. Let's have a listen.
Stand by for Music Radio Creative Live with Mike Russell.
Wow, that's weirding me out. That's totally weirding me out. Let's bring the time down a little bit and see how it sounds now. Play that.
Stand by for Music Radio Creative Live with Mike Russell. Stand by for
That's cool.
Music Radio Creative Live with Mike Russell. Stand by for Music Radio Creative Live with Mike Russell. Stand by for Music Radio with Mike Russell. Stand by for Music Radio Creative Live with Mike Russell. Stand by for Music Radio Creative Live with Mike Russell.
Yeah, what an interesting plugin that is. So as you can see, that one works with Audacity, and it doesn't matter if you're on Mac or PC or even Linux, you'll be able to get that working. What I might do with a plugin such as this to get that reverse effect, it's not a reverse reverb, it's a reverse delay by the seams of things. I could have a really long delay time of 1,000 milliseconds, overlap time of 5%. I could take the dry right down so we don't have any of it, and the effect right up, apply that. Now we have got that's basically a reverse, that's a reverse effect, isn't it, really?
Stand by for Music Radio Creative Live with Mike Russell.
Okay, I've got no idea what it's doing there, but yeah, definitely it's free. So download it and give it a go over in Audacity and see how you go with it. So that's one of the plugins. But if you wanted to get a paid plugin, I highly recommend checking out Waves. Waves Audio always make good plugins. Real fan of using their stuff when I've been in radio for imaging and stuff like that. Renaissance Reverb is a pretty popular plugin. I believe it comes in bundles as well, so you might want to consider that. And the Renaissance Reverb has 12 different reverb types, but I'm pretty sure from what I've seen online, you're able to use some kind of reverse reverb preset in it as well, which would be really rather cool, wouldn't it? So haven't got around to using it myself yet, but I do know Waves make good stuff. So yeah, definitely have a look into it. Right, over in a new session file, I was actually looking into the MRC Live intro, which, as you know, you'll probably be familiar with this track. I'm sure you will. So that's the track we've got there that we use to count down the 1 minute until the show. I've got the stems of it here. And I was thinking of doing something rather funky with this and maybe changing up the logo at the end. That sounds like that. So I went over to Logic and I've got the notes of the logo here in Logic. And then what I was thinking of doing is showing you something cool by maybe going to piano. Let's go for a Yamaha Grand Piano and hear the Music Radio Creative logo on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off any kind of delay effects there. So we just got the dry piano notes. That's cool. Okay, so that's what I wanted, and I'm actually going to export those as an audio file. So let's put that into my downloads folder and drag it into Adobe Audition. And then what we can do is have some fun. If I drag those piano notes in, Yamaha Grand Piano, there it is. And let's normalize them so we've got something really nice to play with. Okay, sounding good. And what I wanted to do really is, let's first of all insert some silence. So insert silence here and click OK to about 10 seconds, I think. And making sure we have got a marker here just before the piano starts, so I know where my reference point is. Effects and reverb. Oh, hang on. Effects reverse. And then effects reverb, and we could go for let's go for studio reverb. That's always a good standard reverb to play with. Let's go all wet. And then what I'm going to do is bring this up the decay. Let's listen to it on the last note. Let's bring the early reflections up. And That's good. And widen the room. That's good. Okay. Apply. There we go. And then effects, reverse that. And I'll save this as a different file. So we'll call this grand piano reverse. And then bring in the original again. There it is. Normalize it. We'll hop into the multi-track. Let's actually create a new multi-track. Grand piano. There we go. And pull these in to the music track here and match them up. And you'll get that kind of Moby sound effect on your audio where you've got that kind of reversing hypnotic piano coming in. Let's match the loudness so we don't overdo ourselves. So I think that sounds quite nice. And you might want to just sort of switch it out a little bit at certain sections and bring it back in. So something like that. So that works quite well. And then mix that down. So you've got reverse reverb on your piano. And then hop into the multi-track and we're going to go over to MRC Live Intro. So I have no idea how this is going to sound, but let's go and grab it. Where is the grand piano mix down? There it is. And let's swap out the logo here with our new grand piano and see how exactly that sounds. So pull that out and put that in right there. And we want to be about there, don't we? So you can hear that reverse reverb in action. I probably need to add a little bit more EQ and compression onto it. So let's do that. I might go into filter and EQ. Let's go for parametrics here and see what we can do to this grand piano. And then roll off some of that low here. Then we're going to compress it. Amplitude and compression and dynamics processing. And let's have a play with something here. And bring it back into the mix again. And I mean, it sounds all right with a piano, doesn't it? I mean, that jingle could probably do with a synth there instead of a piano. But I always think reverse reverb sounds really good on a piano. That's why I wanted to give you the example there. So what have we got here? Sounds even spookier with a piano. It does, doesn't it, DJ Arid? Absolutely. Very spooky stuff. Just have a play with yourself. Go and generate some MIDI notes over in Logic Pro or whatever your music MIDI editor of choice is. FL Studio maybe for Windows. You can even get LMMS, which is a kind of free music MIDI sampler. It's worth trying. I did demo it last week. Best of art, best reverb to create inside voice. What do you mean by inside voice? Not quite sure what you mean, but always my favorite reverb that I end up using the most in Adobe Audition out of their reverb menu is the Studio Reverb. Does G-Rev delay work in Audition? Yes, Bob, it does, but I think I need to put it somewhere else on my hard drive to get it to work. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, somewhere in, you need to go again into your library somewhere. Actually, where is it? There is a place on your Apple computer. I think it's called, yeah, this is it. Here we go. If you go into library and audio here, and then plugins, VST here, I think this is where you put it, although I'm not entirely sure. This is my user area here. I might need to install it globally, but let's just have a try while I mention your comments. So I'm just dropping it into just so you can see what I'm doing, I have gone to my library folder, then audio, plugins, VST, and then I want to go to here it is, let's find it here. Where is it? Oh, I moved it away, didn't I? So it can't be there. It's not there. Let's try going to where I installed it in Audacity, and we'll copy it over. Plugins, G-Rev delay. Let's bring that over there. And then if I go into Effects Audio Plugin Manager, let's do a scan for plugins and see if it finds it while I'm talking to you. So what else have we got? We've got Renato. No, I see you drinking. It is extremely warm in this studio, David, with all the monitors running. You're absolutely right. So many monitors to work with, but definitely all handy and all useful to give me the information I need, particularly when live streaming. Also, I see Fifi is there watching on YouTube. It's nice to have you there, and thank you for coming along. And by the way, you can always get involved after the show, and I encourage you to post whatever you have on your mind over at community.musicradiocreative.com. Community.musicradiocreative.com is the community where we're all hanging out, and then after the show, you can go there and post away. I can see a lot of people have been voting on the DAW that is your favorite audio editing software, people posting and share your projects, some of their imaging or music creations. So a real fun place to be, community.musicradiocreative.com. And I see David in the chat is actually recommending that I go listen to Rain by the Beatles after the show. Do you know what? I'm going to do that. I feel like it would be a good thing to do. Let's go over to Harvey's session here.
Stand by for Music Radio Creative Live.
And I see that G-Rev delay installed. Here it is, GVST G-Rev delay. And as you can see, yeah, it opens up nicely in Audition as well. And I can have a little play with this. Let's have a play and see what happens.
Stand by for Music Radio Creative Live. Starting in 30 seconds. Stand by for Music Radio Creative Live. Starting in 30 seconds. Stand by for Music Radio.
So yeah, it can get rather gobbledygooky, but yeah, anything that is VST usually will slot straight into Adobe Audition, and you can have a play with it. So that's really good. Now, just before the end of the show, we've already had a look at a ton of different reverse reverb techniques. We had a play, obviously, in the multitrack earlier. I really enjoyed creating Duke saying now. And going into the reverse reverb multitrack, we created something like this with his now. Sounded quite nice. And something like this with reverse reverb too. So you can do all kinds of stuff like that by hopping on reverse reverb into your audio. But just to finish up here now, I was going to go into my MRC Live session here and give you a brief idea of what I was considering. Let me swap out that grand piano and put back in the logo. And I'm just going to mix that down to a new file and then start a new multi-track session, MRC Live. And I was considering, where is it, MRC Live Mixdown, let's bring that in, bringing in a little bit of voiceover talent to help with the test ahead of the show. So having a little bit of an audio introduction. I'll show you what I mean. So there's the first bit, and let's get Duke in over here. So here he is.
Testing the left speaker.
And
Speaker.
And there's the next bit. So let's hop that in. Bear with me while I line these clips up. So we got something like this.
Testing the left speaker. Testing the right speaker.
And I was hoping to do a pan with echo delay here. So let's see how that works.
Left.
And obviously that needs to be panned to the left for it to work. So
Speaker left. Testing.
And then right. So we're going to have a little voiceover introduction that I'm going to be introducing very soon to the live stream.
right.
And again, move that over to the right. So we'll have something like this over the audio.
Testing the left speaker, left. Testing the right speaker, right.
And over here, I wanted to pop this in.
Testing phaser.
Testing phaser.
Phaser.
And then we're going to have something like this. This is just a rough edit. When I finish the stream, I'm going to go and edit this up and create a brand new intro to MRC Live. But just showing you basically some of my workflow. And also, I'm pretty sure that I will put some reverse reverb into this. So rest assured. Modulation and phaser.
Phaser. Phaser.
And I want to get something really washy.
Phaser. Phaser.
But something that washes quite fast. So let's move that up.
Phaser. Phaser.
Something like that. So you get that stereo effect. So something like this for the intro. Let's add on some exciter just so that we can boost it up and make it sound like it's been produced already.
Testing the left speaker, left. Testing the right speaker, right. Testing phaser, phaser, phaser.
And then here I wanted to add in this bit.
Phaser, full frequency.
There we go.
Phaser, full frequency sweep. Full frequency sweep.
And I'm not sure if that's the best cut to use.
Frequency sweep. Ding phaser. Phaser. Full frequency sweep.
There we go, that's the cut I want. So let's bring that along in there and drop that in.
Full frequency sweep. Full
That's just chopping in a little bit there.
phaser. Full
No, that's not going to work, is it?
full frequency sweep.
And then what I wanted to do is drop in a kind of full frequency sweep. So I would go into here and then generate a tone. Actually, I need to find out what the length of the tone is going to be. Full frequency sweep, and I want it to be there. So 1.4 seconds. Effects, generate tones. And we're going to go for a standard default tone. And we're going to go from 1 hertz, sweep the frequency up to 20, well, I can do it like that, 22050. And then we'll have something like that takes place in the duration of just 1.4 seconds. Something like this. There we go. Pop that in. Where is our generated tone? There it is.
Sweep.
Now, we just need to add a little bit of an effect to that, I think.
Sweep. Sweep.
Now, I could actually afford to make that a little bit longer because obviously the higher you get in frequencies, the harder it is to hear those frequencies. So let's generate a tone that is, I know I'm going to ruin the multi-track, but let's do it. 2 seconds in duration. Okay, let's try that. Pull that out, and I'm going to add a whole bunch of reverb to this as well. Let's go for convulsion reverb.
Sweep.
There we go.
Now. Frequency sweep. Frequency sweep.
There we go. And then put in the now.
Frequency sweep. Now.
So letting you into a little bit of behind the scenes there. Obviously a rough edit. I'm going to tighten that up and make it sound really good. But this is my idea for a brand new MRC Live introduction. Have a look and have a listen to what I've just done.
Testing the left speaker, left. Testing the right speaker, right. Testing phaser, phaser, phaser. Full frequency sweep. Now.
So as you can hear, Juke is very powerful. Let me just play it back again. I've just increased the volume on the music bed. Should give it a little more impact. Have a listen to this.
Testing the left speaker, left. Testing the right speaker, right. Testing phaser, phaser, phaser. Full frequency sweep. Now.
So there you go. That's it. And there are more of Duke's cuts as well. That is literally all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And sorry if I didn't get to your comments today in the live stream. Always appreciate them. And remember, you can continue the discussion after this show at community.musicradiocreative.com. I will be back with a brand new show tomorrow. That's for, my goodness, the week is flying by, isn't it? Thursday's show for the 3rd of August. More to come on this stream, so catch you in the community.